Okay, it looks like we are here. Just as before. And I have more food at my disposal currently, which is always good. Well, I'm looking at the hitbox player for my channel right now, and it seems to be behaving like you might expect, but something we have noticed with hitbox player lately as opposed to the Twitch player is that apparently when you play pause and then play again on the Twitch player, it skips to the most recent part of the stream then that it can fetch. What if you do that with the hitbox player? Sometimes it like starts off immediately after the part that you paused it on. And sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know what causes that. And I see that as is the case or has been the case for the past few days. I see a lot more high quality rips have been uploaded in this time. But if I am going to look at them at all, I think I'd rather leave it off till later, since they might have some lower quality aspects in them, which leak over from things that are too high quality and as such aren't ordinarily heard in those songs. Now what I'm gonna do right now is go over to this folder and start this thing up. And imagine that if I don't know, if I just check the window capture, yeah, it will. Okay, it will work, that's good. It's quite a good thing because I do want to get on with this again. Kinda wanna let the intro play out one more time because I didn't really catch what it was doing before. Oh yeah, I think this is 1994, that's 10 years before the present day of the game, 2005 I guess. So I guess this takes place in the... I don't know, when was it released? February 2005, alright. It is contemporaneous to its release date. Wasn't sure for a moment, thought it might take place in like the near future or the near past, but I guess not. I think the sequel takes pretty much, or works pretty much the same way in that regard, but we're going to continue with the previous save data, which was about halfway through the start of chapter 4 of 6. In which we had just made it past this hallway puzzle with candles. And into this dining area. Now, before I proceed, I want to quickly eyeball this list of things that I haven't decided yet that I don't want to miss. Okay. And now let's begin exploring this place. This big dining room by the looks of it. There's something on the table here. Is this a message left by the Riddler? Is that a question mark? Nope, apparently that was this woman. An 11-year-old newspaper. Scientist dies, motive unknown. Psycho Robbins, that's her mom. Apparently she was 28 when she was killed. We were hiding in a closet at the time of the shooting and sustained no physical injuries. Oh boy. Dad was being questioned as a suspect based on the evidence available. So apparently Ashley's mom was killed and she watched it happen. Dream she has sitting in the kitchen waiting for Dad to come home. During her 3rd birthday, and someone comes in. Oh boy. Then suddenly... I thought Dee could hear her thoughts. Was that totally dropped? Because he doesn't seem to act like he can. No. Well, let's look at this. Whoops. Look at this painting over the fireplace. Picture hangs on the wall based on what we know so far. I would imagine this are Henry and Thomas. Now, what about this frame? It's a portrait of 2 boys. It's hard to tell. I don't know about that. I'd say it was pretty obvious based on what we know. We don't have anything else to say about that. I guess not. And about the fireplace? It looks like there's something in there. Burned paper. Part of it is too burned to read. Fabricated memories merging. Oh boy. However, in practice... Got a scrap of the trace essay. Wonder if that would mesh with the other papers we found related to that. I guess that's all we're going to find there, though. Actually, can we have a look at that? Still have our candies. Paper cover. There are names on it. I guess we're not gonna know what the names are, though. Part of essay. Who dropped it? I guess we can't read it. And found in the fireplace. I guess that's all we have. No, I guess we can't check all the specifics of it. We're just told that we're picking up pieces of this essay. Oh boy. What do we got? She bummed out because she knows her mom is dead now. Oh boy. She's remembering the dream again. She saw everything. And that's terrible. The person who killed Mom might have been dead. Oh boy. Well, we don't know that for sure, though. Also, apparently she also had white hair when she was 3 years old. Isn't having white hair at such a young age usually a sign that you have some serious deficiency? Well, she still wants to see Dad, though, apparently. And apparently Dee agrees with that. I have to do it. Well, I guess he already knew that. He pretty much watched the same thing. Watching his parent get killed in front of him. Or not. Well, I guess that's it then. Gonna get like one of like 3 frames in which we see her smiling. Well, I guess there's nothing else in the dining room then. I do hear that noise, yes. It's coming from the counter. What could possibly be causing this? Well, before we investigate that, why don't we examine everything on the way? The table doesn't hold much. Chairs with long legs. And a broken chair. What about the wine? It looks kind of dusty. I guess we're not going to make any further comments on it, though. But apparently we still needed to look at that anyway. Well, I think I know what's causing that sound. Yep, it does appear the noise is coming from the radio, so let's fiddle around with it, I suppose. Turn the dials on it. This is how radios work, right? Hello? I don't think this is working quite like it's supposed to. I guess we need to make it quieter, not lower pitched. There we go. Turn the static off, and apparently that made the radio play a song. Miracle of the Blue Moon. I guess that's what we're hearing right now. And then it was suddenly interrupted by the notice something medley. But somebody's here, oh boy. It's the first living person we've met on the island. Yep, it sure seems like he knows who Ashley is. And after having seen that, I don't think there's that much ambiguity on who he appears to be. He says he's Richard. I.e. Dad. So I guess it works out, huh? Where's Jessica? Oh, that's right, we still don't know what the deal with her was. She kind of disappeared. And we found her glasses. Apparently though we'll find her. That sounds very reassuring. Nothing exactly, well. Well, there's something she needs to know about Mom. Oh, that's right. You know, this thing that we learned in the room right before this one. Was Mom really murdered? And yeah, apparently she was shot protecting her and Trace. But we don't know who killed her. Was it Dad? Apparently he's surprised that she doesn't remember anything about, you know, 10 years ago when she was 3 years old. Surprising. But she does have dreams about that. Well, I don't know if we've heard all the details of the dream yet, but apparently Dad here is being very apologetic. And he says he didn't kill Mom. What about the paper, though? Apparently he continued to work on Trace for her. We still don't know what Trace is, though, entirely. Apparently Trace is complete, and that's one of the first messages we got. I guess Ashley completes it? Not gonna get to ask what that means here. Apparently, though, not directly. Oh boy. Do we not get to hear what Trace is? No, we get interrupted, of course. By some odd noise and leaves. Doesn't know who else it would be. It smelled like cigarettes. Apparently though he couldn't see D. Because he doesn't trust people. Apparently adults are all like that. Those darn adults. So let's see, I guess we're left to explore further now that Dad has left. What do we got in the corner here? Another... Well, that could be dust, or that could be like the illumination that's coming through. There's a lighter with the initials BE on the back of it. Something's fishy here. Guess we're not gonna look at that further though. I think that lighter's pretty much when you can start putting the pieces together as to what's really going on, but right now let's go to Moss Hole and see what lies beyond. Maybe we can find out what happened. Dude disappeared. And now we're left in a slightly different hallway where... well, this looks interesting. Where it's horizontal from that perspective instead of vertical. Picture of a moonlit bay with a pattern on its side. I have the feeling I know what this is gonna be used for, so let's take a picture of it. And then there's an outline on the wall where something was moved. Can we not put 2 and 2 together and try to move the painting? I guess we're not gonna try. That seems unfortunate. Is there anything else in the hallway before we start checking out the doors? Well, what about this door? Locked. What about the thing on the door? Not gonna say anything about that. Alright. So what's behind this door? The kitchen. Okay, looks very rustic. Very old-timey. Well, very early 21st century, or 20th century at any rate. Kettle is dry. If they really wanted to be early 20th century hipsters, they could have gotten a wood-burning oven. Shovel is scratched. The burners are turned off. Also, I'm pretty sure there's something I want from this room, so let me check real quick. Kitchen. No, I don't think I'm gonna find anything here. What about the oven? Well, I guess he might have had. We got a knife. Oh, what? One moment. I just saw something weird. What is this? Mike, are you seriously playing Mischief Makers right now? It would appear that you are. Mike, did you say anything about this before? I see that you did not. So this kind of leaves me in a difficult position. Test stream over the AV stuff on the that Mike says he has on his computer, I guess. I thought I heard a microphone. I do hear a microphone. Yeah, I guess it's kind of capture card, but not really testing. I guess. So, you know what? I guess I'll carry on for now. Found this knife in the oven. I don't know if that's like rust or burnt or dried blood on it. I guess we're not going to examine it further. Well, I'll keep the thing open in the back. Just to see what happens. And let's see. What else can I check out in the kitchen here? You like cabinets. And then, oops, didn't mean to select that now. This. Another door which apparently we can't just go through. Because there's a rope tying the doors together. Seems like a pretty... primitive way to do that, but I guess that'll work in our favor. Well, I'm looking for a specific thing here in the kitchen, but I'm not sure which part of it I'm looking at. Or I'm looking for it in. What's this? That's a refrigerator, alright. What about these things next to it? A cabinet with dishes in it. What about this thing on the corner? Shelves which hold many dishes. What about the drawers under them? Empty. Drawer with a small card. Alright, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Do we want to look at these plates? I guess not. Well, I might as well type this in like chat. Is there anything you want? Well, I guess now that I've seen the ropes holding that door shut, I want to look at the knife again. Even though this knife looks kind of fucked up, I guess we could use it to cut the ropes. Rusty knife. Well, I hope she's had her tetanus shot. I don't even know if they give those before you turn 14. Alright, employ the rusty knife for this. I guess we can't actually see it, but we'll still behave as though we haven't. Don't know where the rest of the rope went. I guess it shrunk as it got cut further. So we made it to the storage room. Oh boy, there's Jessica. She looks fine. She's slumped over on the floor and... well, I guess we should try and figure out what the deal is with her first. Oh, but she woke up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure at least I would be blind without my glasses, but... like my natural vision is terrible. And it's only getting worse with time. Oh boy, she was drugged and locked in here. Does she know who did it? It was Bill. Oh boy, there's that name again. Who is Bill? Bill Edward. Bill Edward, colleague of Richard's. She doesn't know why Bill would be here, though. But it was definitely Bill. She says she didn't see him, but she saw Dad. Well, that guy did say he was dead. Well, he was with her, but he heard a noise and went somewhere. And... yeah, we don't know where precisely he could have gone. And we still don't know what this trace business is, precisely. But we do know that Mom died protecting Ashley, and it's not entirely true. Holocaust research was important, but apparently Ashley was even more important. Typical Mom, I guess. And we got that associated with the dream that Ashley has. Dad told her everything. Did he though? He says he didn't kill Mom. I guess Jessica's not gonna deny or agree with that. Not really gonna say that much, but she will say this: we need to find Richard right away. And tell him that Bill is here. To get his hands on Trace, apparently. There's no time to waste. She'll catch up, well, I don't know. I guess she couldn't have left this room before because of the ropes. Well, maybe if she, like... Anyway, maybe she managed to find something to cut with and managed to get the door open just enough that she could get to the ropes. She could have escaped, but well, I saw a bottle on the floor, so maybe she could have used that. I don't know. I guess she was doped up and asleep up until this point, though. And she couldn't see D either. Well, we could explore this place while we're at it. We're not gonna lift any of the wine. Not gonna take this opportunity to do that. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm in a very small minority, but I never cared too much about drinking pretty much ever. But I know that when I was 13 there were a lot of people around that age who were like, I gotta hurry up and drink, I gotta hurry up and smoke. And I distinctly remember some time in... Oh hey, dust painting. Do we use the microphone? Oh yeah, we do. Nice. There was one time when I was in middle school where we had to collaborate and make a class film for chemistry class. Or we had to work in groups, and for that one day we went over to one of my old apartments, and because I had to for... It was a pretty dumb reason why, but because basically they were right next to each other and we never really used the other one, and we eventually sold it off to somebody else. But, okay, did Mike end? Oh, I still hear that. No, I guess it did end it. What was I saying? Well, anyway, in that place, I think my parents had put for some reason they had put a bottle of wine in the fridge, and one of the other dudes that I was working with for that film was like, I will drink this wine even if I have to wait for all the stuff that's frozen around the cap for it to come off. And to remember, he fell asleep on the bed in there. Got passed out from grogginess, I guess. But anyway, that was a remembrance of something. Did I remember to take a picture of that other painting? I don't think I did. I kind of failed in that regard. No, I didn't. Well, that's what I get for being distracted. Well, let me see if this will attract anyone. So, let me see. I guess I have to go back in there because I can only imagine that mixing the two paintings together will result in something. So let's take a picture of that and let's open RDS or DTS, which totally isn't ADS, and start messing around with that. Oops. Okay, so start with that one and then take this one and yeah, overlay it. Let's see if this works. Or if this is even the right way to do it. 2, 3, what's that say? 2, 3, maybe I should do this the other way. 6, 9, kind of. 2, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, it looks like that's what that says. What if we turn it around though? Will it result in something different? No, it won't. I guess that's well thought out then. So 2, 3, 6, 9, 6, 9 is the clue. Guess we're gonna attempt to get through this other door now. Can we acknowledge the fact that there's clearly a device on the door now? Yeah, the keypad. Which looks like the keypad we saw before at the entrance of the mansion, so... And there we go. Take out a tile rock. Well, you seem excited. As always. So we've made it to where presumably the lab is. But before we proceed, we better make another recap as we are wont to do at the end of every chapter. After solving the mystery of the candelabra, we went into the dining room. We found part of the research paper that was burned partially. Found out about Mom being dead, and suddenly those recurring nightmares made more sense. Well, apparently the suspect named by the paper was Richard, aka Dad. And the guy who said he was her dad says he didn't do it though. He didn't kill Sayako. That's the story that he gave us. Then he heard something and he left, and we haven't seen him since. But we did find Jessica. We used an old rusted knife to cut the ropes, without any regard for our own safety. Who abducted her? She said it was Bill. Bill Edward. Who is in the mansion? So that, I suppose, we'll remember. So, time for the penultimate chapter. Actually, before we head further into the mansion, let me check the kitchen again real quick. Because there might have been something I missed here, yeah, on the table. There's something on the table. It's kind of hard to see when you're actually zoomed in like this. There's a handkerchief. It looks new, but there's blood on it. Are we not gonna say anything about that? No, I guess not. Well, we do kind of remark that, and that is punctuated by a little sound effect. But let's see what we got in this new territory. We got new, slightly funkier music. Still don't know where Dad is. He seriously disappeared. There's another big door at the end. which is locked, of course. And between the door we came from and that door, there's only one other one, so let's go to Lawrence's room, which I think I also need to look for something in. Oh, actually, I just remembered that one of the cards I found in the kitchen I have not looked at yet, but I guess I'll wait until I found the one in this room for that. So let's look around, get a fireplace. There's Lawrence, the great-great-grandfather guy. And presumably those are his grandsons. Goodbye, my beloved birds. Oh boy. So presumably this would be them. A man in a white sweater and a man in a black sweater. Daniel, wait here. Oh boy. And that's his father, apparently. So his name apparently is Daniel. Doesn't really explain why there was this big headstone with just a letter D carved into it, though. At the graveyard. Well, I guess you would cry if your great-grandfather had just died. He was pretty much your surrogate father for a long time. And that would be the other guy. Henry, I guess. Oh boy. The man in the black sweater. Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. Uncle Henry. So he killed his brother? I honestly do not remember any of this. But alright, I guess we're learning things. Fireplace hasn't been used. Yeah, I would imagine that this is all furniture. Also, there's a DTS card hidden in that space between books. That's otherwise inconspicuous. So, actually, yeah, before we proceed, let's look at those. O2, that's one we've already listened to, I think. So, 905. Richard's journal. One of the difficulties I face is food. He doesn't like the canned food. He would kill for a fresh peach. He hunts around the island for edible plants, but hasn't found anything good enough to eat more than once. So what did he find at one time? Top contenders are corned beef, spicy chili, and clam chowder. I don't think I've ever tried clam chowder, but her relationship or lack thereof with Ashley is a reminder of his relationship with his late father, who both died in a plane crash when he was 18. Oh, Jessica and he had to fend for themselves. Well, never spared much time for his family, his dad. Well, I feel like he's the only person who would understand me. Well, I guess. Apparently, though, that whole thing doesn't resonate with Ashley herself, though. So what about this round object? Looks like a zoetrope. Which is a thing I also can't believe you've never seen one of those. They're not that strange. Spin, you look inside and you see a sequence of animation. Or maybe? Oh, I guess you have to spin it counterclockwise. There's no other way to do it. Come on. Is this not good enough? Okay, there we go. No. Apparently we're not seeing anything though. Even if we make it go fast like Sonic. That's strange. Well, that'll happen if there's nothing inside of it. Roll like the paper that artists use. Well, we haven't found anything quite like that yet. What about the desk that's here up against the wall? Big and heavy, the drawers are decorated with golden bird designs, so that would have been whichever of the brothers the golden one was. Empty, empty, and locked. That's a good prospect. What game is this? This is... Oh, hi Mike, by the way. This is Trace Memory, aka another code, which was its original title. It's a DS visual novel-ish adventure game. It's made by the same people who made Hotel Dusk, if you've ever heard of that or seen that. And there are some style similarities with that. And right now we're exploring this mansion and trying to find out about where the father of this white-haired 13-year-old girl is. And we're also learning about the family history of the people who apparently lived here in, like, the early 20th century. Because this ghost boy who's accompanying us was apparently somehow related to that. So let's see. Leave all my assets to Henry Edward, says Lawrence, who's the great-grandpa. Apparently, Henry was his sole heir. That won't really explain. If it was the other way around, I would understand why he tried to kill Thomas, but... But right now, this all seems pretty inexplicable. Oh boy. Well, the ghost is a dude, apparently. And we heard something. Could it be coming from behind this thing? No? From the white sofa? From the canopy bed? Or maybe from the wall. I guess we're not gonna check that. Yeah, well. I guess we're not gonna take a closer look at this thing. Seems kinda weird, actually. Could have sworn we were supposed to do something else with that. What about, what if we go back and look at this other one? Maybe we need to check here. Doesn't seem to change anything. And I don't think there's any other zones of this place that we can explore, so... So, I don't know. And there aren't any other doors we can go into, right? So I think it's time to pull out the old... reference. Okay, wait. Apparently what we're meant to do here is go back to the desk and remember the... Well, apparently we can't look closely at the desk from any angle other than the one that's opposite it. And the one drawer that is locked. What if we try the golden bird key with that? Where is it? We do have it, don't we? Or not. Partly it's not something that's an option anymore. What? Why? Did we throw that away? We have a locked drawer. Do we seriously not have that thing anymore? Hang on. Well, I guess this shows stuff that we don't actually have anymore, but come on. Do we seriously throw this away at some point? That wouldn't really make sense to me. Actually, wait a moment. Did I miss something in a previous area? I think that might have been what happened. Oh yeah, there was one thing. Well, I would like to imagine she still has the key, because there's not really any good reason to throw it away. Apparently though, it's not the key that she needs for this part. So it's backtracking time. Is this the room I'm looking for? I don't know. No, apparently not. Is this the one? No, this isn't it either. Well, there's only 2 more rooms left in this area, so... yeah, here we go. I thought, but then I wasn't actually looking at what I wanted to. Here. There was this thing on the table. The bottle, which apparently clearly has something inside, but then when we approach, it suddenly becomes opaque. And surely enough, she can't open it because the seal looks like a freaking wax seal of some kind, so... Couldn't imagine that you would use your bare hands to open something like that, unless you had like really long and sharp fingernails, but... What if we go back to the chest? What if we pick up one of these hammers? What if we... yeah, go overkill and... pick up the largest possible hammer for this? Much like one's axe, one would do well not to drop the hammer. So I guess we zoom in on this thing. Or not. Because trying to do that immediately results in that, so... Well, let's try it. No, not the lighter. Where's the hammer? Come on. There it is. Boy, and we have to do this manually. Fun. A letter and key inside. Well, apparently that's how we get that key, but what does the letter say? Ever since your grandfather passed away and your brother killed himself with grief. Okay, I guess that put things in a different light. Turn into a different person. Where is this from? His wife? Can't live and raise her daughter in this environment. Yeah, I guess. Oh, did he kill his wife? Is that what happened? Oh boy. Cannot live with your constant drinking and violent outbursts. Do you remember singing that knife around her? Well... Did you know after that I hid all the knives in the house so you wouldn't hurt us or yourself? Apparently she was going to leave with Franny, who was her daughter. I guess she might have. I'm not sure. It says that Thomas killed himself, but Dee remembers him being murdered. So I'm trying to figure out what the truth is and what the discrepancy is. So back to where we were. Which would be here. And let's try our arduous task of trying to open the drawer on the desk again. With the gold bird key, which I guess whittles itself into the place where it's supposed to go. Okay. What is in the old notebook, pray tell? Apparently it's Lawrence Edwards. I believe my time has finally come. It's only day 32 years ago, so 1948, 1916? Guess that's when Henry and Thomas were born. Even though apparently both of them only lived for less than 40 years. Letter of reconciliation from his estranged son, but which apparently came after his death. Which I guess is part of why he took his grandsons in. I guess that explains that. Both chose artistic paths, but while he had apparently denied their father before, he didn't do that to them. Hopes were shattered by outside forces. The Second World War started and both were sent to fight, but they both returned. We already know that. The military confiscated all the gold. Oh boy. I guess there's not any gold left in the hills. Henry lost his right arm. Oh, that I did not know. And Thomas apparently became untrusting. Which is kind of weird since Dee is apparently Thomas's son. And now that he's a ghost, he says that he cannot be seen by people who are untrusting. I guess there is some resonance in that. But this time... Well, I guess he got bummed out after all that. Couldn't quite have all he wanted. Well, now that we've learned that, does that change anything, though? I have the feeling that if we interact with that again, it's just gonna show the text again, so... Did we need to listen to that to figure out how we needed to interact with whatever it is that made a noise over here? Because I still haven't figured out what that is. Well, I would like to imagine that it's this thing that's on the wall here, but... apparently nothing we do to interact with it will result in anything. Did she also... Yeah, she also is not willing to use a hammer for anything else, I guess. That's nice. Okay, wait a moment. Do I need to backtrack again? Do I need to backtrack to the same area that I backtracked to earlier? It would appear that I do. Because I honestly did not remember this by myself, but there was this roll of paper here. And I guess we somehow already know that this paper is supposed to be used with the zoetrope. So now that we've gone back and also gotten that, I we return yet again to the place where we were. Go for a real jog. And go back to the table with the zoetrope. Round 10. Okay. What if we stick this paper in there? Will we see anything then? Well, we can only hope. Alright, here we go. Let's make this thing go fast like Sonic again. Which I guess results in an animation of a bird flying between tree branches, which match the tree branches on the patterns on the walls, so I guess we're supposed to pay attention to this. Okay. Okay, it's the flowers on the top right, top center, top left, center, and lower left. Was it the first real animation? I guess that would make sense. Guess that's when people figured out that movement is perceived as a series of moving images. He wanted to be a movie director when he grew up. Well, I wonder how this family got money. I guess they did have that gold mine. Can we do anything with it? No, I guess not with that one. A lot about the other one. What path did the bird take? Well, I do believe it was this. That. Ooh. Did we only need to check the last place? Well, at any rate. What lies beyond the secret door? Oh boy. Someone's on the floor. Do you think he could be Bill? Well, it's not the same guy that we saw before. Guess we'll wake him up, but we'll be careful while doing that. What, do we slap him? I guess so. Well, he does look pretty different once he has those glasses on. It's... well... is it really you, Ashley? Oh boy. So what do we got? Well, surely enough, he wants to know, or she wants to know who he is. Apparently, though, he knows that she's Ashley. Well, he's not being very forward, but it's kind of clear what the idea is here. I think that's what we have here is a failure to communicate. She already knows the truth. She thinks he's Bill. And in fact she accuses him of being Bill. But he says he isn't. doesn't know why she thinks that, though. Why did you hurt Jessica? Well, you're the only man in this house besides Dad. Well, how do you know that other guy was your dad to start with? How come she doesn't stop to consider this? Not really getting anywhere with this, though. Yeah, she disappeared. Well, yeah, she was attacked and then she was put into that storage room, but this guy's still denying everything. Oh boy. Now what is he trying to say? When you met your father in the lounge, what did he say? What happened to the DTS? Well, he does still have it. Don't let the DTS out of your sight and give it to anyone. Well, doesn't it already only have only respond to her because it has her biometric data, we were told. Not Bill, still. It says he's Richard Robbins, aka Dad. She still doesn't believe him. Guess I wouldn't be able to tell if I was her either, just by looking at the guy. But apparently she actually does. Somehow. Apparently he was there the night Mom was murdered, crouching over her. Well, I guess she would remember that, if she managed to remember everything else about that. Are you out of your mind? Well, apparently the general consensus is that whoever Dad is, he didn't kill Mom. He's taking his time to answer, though. That doesn't really inspire confidence, and then he leaves. It's okay. Apparently Dee has seen him before in the cemetery. And surprisingly enough, he couldn't see him either. So now we're left to explore this secret room where he was apparently locked up. Right, hang on. I thought I remembered seeing Sylvia needed to get in this room too. I guess there's nothing except maybe memory triggers. Oh damn it, I think I forgot something that I was supposed to do with that. Oh well. Nobody uses typewriters now. Well, I'm pretty sure that wannabe hipster writers still use them, but... What's in the typewriter? A letter. Sit here alone typing a letter you may never read. I have decided to follow Thomas. Wanted you to know what your father was thinking. Your mother believes that I killed Thomas. Oh boy. So that I would be the sole heir to my grandfather's assets. Well, wasn't that already the case before Thomas was dead? Thomas returned with his son Daniel. Grandfather passed away and then something terrible happened. Thomas said you must be happy now. You lived up to his hopes, you became left-handed so you could paint again. I guess you can do that. So you must be satisfied. Thomas pulled out an envelope from his pocket and said, "This grandfather's will. There's only one name. Okay. What he really wanted. What, Thomas wanted to inherit everything? Apparently. Then he pointed a gun at me, oh boy. I thought Henry was the guy with the black sweater. Something unthinkable happened. Daniel happened to see it, and oh boy. So I guess that was, yeah. I cannot see Henry's name in the... very blurrily at the end in the actual graphic. So Thomas tried to kill Henry, then Henry killed him and then killed himself. Oh boy. Well, based on the half flashbacks we've seen related to that, I'm having a hard time imagining how that would work, but... can't remember anything. Even though a lot of this has been so that Dee will remember more stuff. Still don't know what the deal is with that mark on his chest. So what's here next to the safe? Another envelope. After my coup, I bequeath all my assets to Thomas Edward. But that's not what the other letter said. After my death, I bequeath all my assets to Thomas Edward. So I guess that's one of those was a fake. Not sure which one though. Inside the safe there's an account book. Can't we look at the account book? Are we just going to ignore that? I guess we are. So after having seen all this, does that change the fact that the door... oh shit, freaking window. Suddenly getting caught. Does that change the fact that the other door out in the hallway is still locked? Is it not locked anymore? Nope, I guess not. Let's go to the research lab, oh boy. Pretty sure we're coming up on the endgame here. This part of the mansion looks totally different from the rest. This used to be a courtyard. There was something else beyond. So I guess they repurposed this for the mansion Resident Evil style. And I guess we can't just go through the door, we need to look at it first. Oh, it has a keypad. There's a trace of writing on the window, is there really? Do we need to blow on it? No? Oh, never mind, we do. Freaking microphone stuff. Can we interact with it? Yeah, we can. 8198. I guess it's cold on the other side. But at least apparently someone facilitated that. So let's check this place out. And what if the door closes behind us and doesn't open anymore? Well, that seems unfortunate. Oh, here on the shelf we got a photo next to a teddy bear. 4 people in the photo. Who are they? Who's this guy on the left? Blonde man. Apparently that's glasses dude. And that would be Mom, aka Sayoko. Can only imagine that the other woman is Jessica. I guess she was also involved in this. I suddenly remember what Jessica said on the boat over here. I didn't know Sayoko very well, but apparently she did know her. And that was a lie, well... we can't tell. I couldn't tell you because I'm really bad at empathy, but... on the right is the other blonde guy we met. Who Ashley still says is her father, but do you have anything to say about the teddy bear? Looks like it has been cribben. So I guess it's supposed to be the same teddy bear from her 3rd birthday. It's an open cardboard box. I guess we're not gonna look inside. Well, hang on. Before I go any further, I should take another look at this list I have. Because there's a bunch of stuff I need to find here. Right. I guess... well, let's take a look. But we have giant drawers with files here. The type that you see in archives. What's the file that's sitting on top of everything else, conveniently? Additional comments and traces file specifications. 2 distinct codes for activation. Stored on 2 separate DTS cards. So you got something else that is related to that trace thing, but that still does nothing to explain what it actually is. It does seem to be a recurring pattern with those things. Oh boy, nobody's here. It took you this long to make that comment. Okay. Can we not look at these? What are these, servers? There might be more files, I don't know. What's this thing on the right? An unidentified machine. Cardboard boxes. As if someone was trying to pack or unpack. We don't know what this thing on the left is though. Got a cluttered desk though. I see a picture on it. Sayoko and her as a baby and somebody else. Apparently he was the one who opened the closet 10 years ago. It was definitely that man. Apparently it is the man who in the safe room. So she's been making the wrong assumption the whole time. That guy with the glasses is in fact the dad. Well, this looks conspicuous. This thing on the bottom right, but apparently we can't look at that. That woman is her mother, yes. And apparently she touches that and part of the frame opens up. With a DTS card inside. Got the white DTS card. Which says... Card 991, code Ash 853 Lee. First, trace protocol activation code. Well, we got an activation card. Hang on. Before we do anything else with this, can we look at the screen? What's this stuff? Red icon displays the message things to remember. Don't pick out the chocolates. Shave and brush before meeting Ashley. Well. The yellow icon says Psycho. I don't know if you can read this, but I hope Trace is finally finished. So the guy's writing a letter to his dead wife. Coffee soaked late nights in the government lab. Well, this doesn't seem like a government project though, this seems like a private thing. Technology for creating false memories, oh boy. Then you discovered you were pregnant. I finished the trace theory, then came Ashley. Let's stop this research. Trace would be used for the wrong reasons for biopre management, so we sealed our findings in the security box and hid it in our house. Oh boy. There was a huge error in the trace theory. Which was a lie. Then we thought it was over. And apparently tried to forget all that, but then she got shot in her home. So it didn't quite work out. Probably won't even remember what it looked like. Well, I guess you got that half right. It's kind of a gradual remembrance thing. Apparently he's been saving a present for 11 years. But I'm still not terribly clear what that is. That must be it. Apparently she knows though. What about the green icon? The old trace is finally complete and it's all thanks to you. Well, assuming that it's Richard who's writing all of these. Apparently he is not very hostile towards Bill. Or maybe this is dated, I don't know. Yeah, this looks like this might have been written when he abandoned Ashley like 10 years ago. Or not, never mind. I want you to be there when I activate it. I would also like to ask a question that I couldn't ask you. Oh boy. And we don't know what that question is though. And the last icon. To replay the existing memory you need the DTS and the codes. First code stored in white, second code stored in red. Additional code Psi 919 Oko. Guess I should make a note of that. Can we do anything with the keyboard? It clicks, but apparently we're not doing anything with it. Well, hang on. Is there seriously nothing else? What about these shelves? Further on the right. There's a card between the shelves, right? And the other thing. Did we find a card in any of these? Nope, but now we did. Alright. Don't really want to miss those at this point. Oh boy. We should look around this room a little more. Oh, we can't actually approach the door yet, I guess. Well, right now let's take a look at those blue cards that we found. I guess we might have found almost every card that we need to find by this point. 907 and 908. In work as in life, these are the principles to live by. Always come up with a new theory. Never forget to prepare the counter-argument and follow up, and there's a solution for anything. As long as you think creatively. And giving up is an option. Well, I don't know, I mean, a lot of people give up a lot of the time. But apparently he came up with those 4 principles with Sayoko. A group of researchers working on memory inheritance, planning to publish the results of their DNA memory generator soon. It wouldn't happen to be what they were doing, would it? She would be interested in this memory generator if she were still alive and working in the field. No, I guess not. Don't think we're ever gonna hear about that again, though. But now that we've been regaled by all those journal entries, let's look at the desk again, because apparently we're not done looking at this picture yet.